Hello, everyone. I am excited to be here for the first live show of my L. Kennedy read along. Um, like I just said, this is the first one. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but we're gonna hang out. Let me bring my mic closer. We're gonna hang out for a little bit, talk about the books. Let me know what you thought. Which one was your favorite? Which characters are you really vibing with? Who are you excited to hear more of? So let's just go through some comments and we'll start chatting. Good morning, Elena. I'm glad you're good. Almost done with Black Leopard, Red Wolf. Awesome. Do you still have 15 minutes left of the mistake? Maybe. Had to finish editing your video so you can film your live reaction to the end because you know there will be tears. I'm glad you got through it though. Like you're pretty much there. Hi Tennille. Hi Stacy. Hi Hales. I agree with this. I fully I loved, Garrett and Hannah's story, but Logan and Dean have this very they got a place in my heart I'm pretty excited about. Low-key playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. Good. Honestly, I meant to reread and then September existed. So I'm right with you here. Tennille, which one did you like better of the two? I feel this. I have some very strong opinions about Grace that are not exactly common, I think. If anyone agrees with me, please feel free to jump in and share. But for me, I feel like Grace she wasn't, in my opinion, as likable as Hannah. But I think it's because she goes through all of this development that we never see. Like, she leaves the story one way and then magically comes back as this whole new person. And that just doesn't quite sit right with me. But yeah, I liked the deal. I liked elements of the mistake, but I did prefer the deal as well. I think you're gonna love it because you and I tend to have very similar tastes, and the score. Oh, hold on, I'm grabbing it. The score is my favorite of the originals, and look at this old school cover. That's how into this series I am. Although I'm getting the special edition of both this and The Mistake in January. So let's see. Excited to read the next one. Yeah, it's legit like the best of the original four, in my opinion. I read, so 3 days, it took me 3 days to read The Mistake, The Score, and The Goal, and I read each of them in a full day. So yeah, this is how I feel. Like, of the original four, The Mistake is definitely my least favorite. For me, the deal was 5 and Mistake was like 3.5. So I am curious. One of these days you should figure out what your new rating is. Yeah, so it's just kind of like we're just here and they're saying, yeah, Grace changed and did all these things. But where? We don't see it. She just comes back. She's new Grace, and it doesn't make sense to me. Yes. Like, if it was a single POV, we just heard from Logan, which is a story I would be very interested in, I'm not going to lie. But if we had a single POV from just Logan, and then we would see his reactions to Grace going and coming back with all the development. but Elle fully had an opportunity to write and share what Grace was going through and what made these changes happen. But then all of a sudden it was, hey, hi, hello, I'm here. I'm new. I'm sassy and spicy. Um, yes. Like, I know. So when I read this, I was very mad about like the immaturity in Grace. I'm trying to find where my copy is. Hold on, it's here somewhere. Actually, I have no idea where it is. We'll find it. Whatever. So I had to keep reminding myself when I read this for the first time that like Dean, not well, we haven't met Dean yet really in great detail, but like Garrett, Hannah, Logan are all juniors or seniors, so they're at least 20, maybe 21. I had to keep reminding myself that Grace was like 18. She's a baby compared to everyone else in this series, which is something sorry. I had to keep reminding myself that like she's literally a child, basically. She's a newborn baby adult and needs to learn how to be an adult. And I think things with Logan were like one of her first experiences, so she didn't know what she was doing. Yes, I agree. And I think she's definitely gotten better with that as time went on. Legacy was your only 5-star. The deal and the score were your favorites. Yeah, my favorite is definitely the score, then the deal, then the goal, then the mistake. And then that's not even factoring in the rest of that stack. Really want to know where the mistake went. I had it out because I planned on rereading it and then just didn't. I need the Legacy is the only one I don't own, so I need to like get on that. But at this point, if she's special editioning them all, I would rather just wait and see if we get a special edition of the Legacy, just so they can all match. The deal is your favorite, but then again, Flawless is your favorite, and Chestnut. You always attach hardest to the first couple. This makes sense. So I know a lot of people who are like this, and I don't know what it is about Dean and Allie, but something about their dynamic, but we're not there yet. We'll talk about that next month. Or later this month. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But of the two that we are currently working with, Garrett and Hannah, definitely. I like Garrett and Hannah as a couple more than Logan and Grace, but I like Logan as a character more than Garrett. Not by much, don't get me wrong. Like, Garrett Graham is top tier, especially as you see him throughout the rest of the books. I wish we had seen more of the hoops happening versus just the first, fifth, and sixth, because it would have been a cute montage. It felt very high school rom-com. Yes, I can see this. Like, if we had gotten all of it, every bit of what they were going through, would completely understand. But it feels like there is a bit of a pick and choose of what do we show. And I think it might have been maybe she just didn't want the book to be too long. But like, she got over that because Charlie Method's over 500 pages. But yeah, I definitely feel this. It had potential to be really cute, but it just didn't pan out the way I think she was planning it to. And this for me is by no means saying, oh, sorry. By no means am I saying The Mistake was a bad book. It was still a great time. I loved it. It's part of my favorite series by one of my favorite authors. Like, I loved it. But this. Okay, that's what I thought, because I think I remember her being very new to relationships, romance, all the things, and then to have big big beefy Logan be her first real college experience is quite a time. I love him. I love them all, really. Yeah, I have the OG covers for all 8 books that have them, but as I get the special editions exhibited by this bad boy right here, I'm giving the original covers to my sister because she's interested in reading the series, and I figure it's not a book I need to have twice. Well, yeah, you've always been someone who just nostalgia is the way to your heart. But it makes sense. And it's like, it's not like we started with a bad couple. Like, there's some book series where the first couple just sucks. This is not one of those. They were a great yes, they were a great introduction to Briar and all of that. Dean is just more fun. Garrett is fun too, but very golden retriever. And you like a snarky, sarcastic MMC that's hard on the outside, gooey on the inside. Hale's just read me for filth. I think that's because this is how I am as a person, is hard on the outside, gooey on the inside, snarky, sarcastic, all the things. And it's just a relatable character for me. But yeah, Dean, top tier. This is also true. Like, we don't think about things like that because they do, like, looking at my stack, they get progressively longer as you go, which makes total sense when you think about the fact of, like, it is what it is. Like, she started out, I mean, she's written books before Briar, but, like, to start a world and then have that world explode in the way that it did, I don't know if she was ever expecting it to be where it is now. Yeah. Yeah, you guys called me out. Other things I would like to bring up. Yes, they were. I did know this. But other things I would like to chat about, if you guys are interested, is, so the romances, we all have our feelings. We have our feelings about the characters, but I'm interested in what you guys think of, like, the family stuff that is revealed, specifically for the boys, because I just want to know how you feel about how, like, because I know Garrett and Logan have some very, like, intense storylines as they go through their world. And I would like to know, what do you guys think about those? What are your thoughts, feelings, opinions? All the things. So let me know. I'm gonna turn my air back on because it's too hot for a crew neck and I couldn't find a t-shirt. So I apologize that you're gonna hear my air conditioner. Because I know, like, so for me, Garrett's story with his dad was very powerful, very, I think I expected it but didn't at the same time. Because, like, it was almost too perfect, I guess. He was, like, too perfect, and then they gave him this big dark secret, which I like how it was portrayed. But yeah, I agree with this. Grace's dad is, like, my favorite. He's so great, such a good parent. And hearing about, like, Logan's whole family situation, it broke me a little bit because, like, that's my boy. And he's gone through it, and then to learn about his brother and how he's kind of putting himself on the back burner for family, like, it sucks. And I gonna get a little deep here. I had to do that for a while. Like, things with my mother were never great, and I had to constantly, like, put my wants and needs on hold for what worked. And I think that's part of why, like, Logan really speaks to me. This makes a lot of sense. I can definitely see how that is a triggering subject for somebody with, yeah. It's such a good scene. This one was powerful. It really did get to me, because, like, it's nice to see that partners having connections with family thing, because we don't always see that in our romances. We just see the couple engaging with each other and sometimes with friends. So to have this scene that was arguably so powerful, like, it was just a really good, it was really good. Yeah, I can definitely see this, because it's a powerful scene. Like, I know I keep saying that, but it's a good one, and it just impacts you so hard, because you've grown attached to these characters, and you're only going to grow more attached. And truthfully, guys, I can't wait for us to keep going and for you to see how these characters continue to grow, especially the boys. Yeah, this makes sense, because Elle does write these situations very well. She does a pretty good job of capturing what needs to be captured without, like, what word am I looking for? She's not, like, romanticizing or glamorizing. I don't know if that's a word. It might be a word, who knows? But she's not making it seem like it's a good thing. She's kind of stating it like, these are the facts, this is how it is, and this is how it impacts these characters. She's using it as man pain in a bit, but it's not in, like, this. It's not done cheaply. Like, it's done in a way that is powerful, and you really get a feel for these characters, their lives, and it's nice to see more depth in these characters and their backstories, as opposed to just sorry, cliffhanger for you there. It's nice to see more to their backstories than just, a smutty good time. Yeah, I think you read it in, like, what, March, if I remember correctly, because, well, that's when I started existing. So, um, but yeah, I remember the reveal about Garrett's dad really got to me, because that kind of storyline always gets me. For those of you who watch The Vampire Diaries, I am a Tyler Lockwood stan and apologist till the day I die. And so seeing that storyline for Garrett really gave him a special place in my heart. But yeah, you go into this book, like, the cover of the deal, I don't have that one anymore. I gave that one to my sister. But the cover of the deal really, like, the original one at least, really looks like you're just strutting into a smut book, ready for a hockey player and some lady banging all over. But then you get into the stories, and there's so much depth. Like, Hannah's story too, like, everything that she goes through is phenomenal. And then adding in, like, the Garrett of it all and all of his shit, for lack of a better word, that you don't really get until you're there. Like, she's by far a top tier author for me. Like, Al Kennedy, Lila Sage, and Allie Hazelwood, are probably my top 3 contemporary authors. If I had to pick No Thoughts, Head Empty, those would be my top 3. Yes, he is a hard shell gooey boy, but yeah, the model covers are just, they're like interesting because you don't know what to expect. Possibly, fun spoilers, possibly 2026. I do have plans for next year, but right now we're focusing on Elle Kennedy and the first 2 books in her beautiful masterpiece series that is Off Campus, and The Deal and The Mistake, and how much we love them or didn't love them. Did anyone not like, other than the Grace development part, is there anything you guys didn't like about these books? Because I can sing their praises all day because I'm extremely biased and I'll admit it. But so Hales just sent me a fun cover of The Deal that I'm going to share real quick. So here's one cover of The Deal. Exhibit A, B, C of you're expecting a fun, smutty time. And then to look at like the, whoa, too big. And yeah, exactly. And then to look at the development that even the covers went through. It does, because that's a grown man in that cover. Just saying. Appreciate that it shows these men who on the surface come across as toxically masculine, but you get more depth than you're expecting, and they're actually really good guys underneath everything. Yes, exactly. I'm pulling up the cover that I have because I have a different or had a different cover than that one. This one. This is the one I have. But yeah, like, you hear hockey player, hockey romance, and you're expecting not what we get. Hang on. Since we're talking about, covers. Where is it? Here it is. Nope, here it is. So this is the cover I have had. Like, it also makes it look like it's gonna be a smutty time. Yes, that the man in that cover is absolutely a master student, not an undergrad. I would 100% agree with you. Hold on, let's see. Since I'm here already. Here it is. This is, nope. This right here is the cover that I have of The Mistake, of like the pink tights and the coffee. So, compared to like these cutesy cutesy covers that are out now, like, here's The Deal, here's The Mistake. Yeah. It's funny, this is in the other series, but it really looks all now like the same book in different fonts, which it's not, in my opinion. I mean, it is, in the sense that they're all hockey romances, but it's also really not. Yeah, those are the covers I have as I slowly transition to special edition land. Yeah, the Elle Kennedy Industries. Yeah, this was my first, well, The Deal specifically
was my first sports romance ever. Like, no questions asked, had never read a sports romance before. And now this series of hockey romances are my entire personality. Yeah, KU has the animated covers, which I agree with this. They're never on the ice. Some of the characters in the books don't even go to hockey, if I recall correctly. And I get their hockey romances because they're hockey players. Oh, wait, there's an ab cover for The Mistake. Hang on. Speaking of, hold on. Sharing. I just happened to glance over and where is it? Here it is. The Mistake also has an ab cover. They probably all do, but this one just popped up on my screen. Like that's a man who's going through it. But focusing again, sorry. Yeah, KU had like I love the animated cartoon covers. They're very cute, but I don't think they fit the series. And that's just my opinion. I have not read it. I know Hales has. I think Hales has. I have it up there. I just haven't read it for this exact reason because I feel like they are very similar, but I am looking forward to reading it eventually. Maybe for that sports romance vlog series that people are suggesting I do. First hockey romance. Yeah, I know this was a journey for you. And Sherry's not here, but this was a journey for her too, because she's a horror reader and she dove into the deal with both feet. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I'm worried about reading any sports romance that a friend hasn't already read. I get that. I feel like that with most books. Like I never want to be the first. I want everything vetted because I don't want to read something I'm not gonna like. And then there's the things that someone did vet and you still don't like it. So try the things. Yeah, the story of my life with anything. So Hales did read and loved Icebreaker and agrees that they are quite similar. Yes, Tennille and I will happily rec for you. And now we've got a whole stack of them. I need to read Icebreaker. Friend tried to read it, got to 15%, and she was bored. The smuttier a book, the better. Valid. This is for some people. Some books I've been skipping the smut in lately. And by some books, I mean Blue Ribbon Romance. But that's another conversation. This is about hockey. Icebreaker was your first hockey romance. I don't care at all about hockey, but I think athletes are hot. So I like that The Mistake didn't really have any hockey. Honestly, I support this take and I relate to it heavily. Because I know nothing about hockey other than stick meet puck meet ice, goal good, punch good. That's hockey to me as who I am. Feel free to clip that, use it wherever you want. Entire bookshelf of sports romances. This doesn't shock me. I want to read more and buy more, but I live in a studio, and as you can see by, pile, full shelf, I don't have a lot of room. I need to reorganize my shelves relatively soon. This is so valid because that was your entire life for a while, if we're being completely honest. So yeah, it adds to your nostalgia thing. This is on my list, I think. I know Emily Rath is on my list. Are Jacksonville Rays and Pucking Around two different things, or are those the same things? I think it's Pucking Around. I think. That should be the intro. I'll go back and clip it and just put it at the beginning of any time I talk about hockey. Honestly, wild that I like hockey romance so much when I spent so many years dodging pucks. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're just reliving your trauma in a different way at the end of the day. That's just what it is. Um yeah, that, sounds like a fun way to work on your reflexes. Oh yeah, I would skip those. I would skip those scenes. No questions asked. Especially basketball. Like, no offense to any basketball fans out there, but I think statistically, in my opinion, basketball is one of the hardest sports to watch. I can't imagine reading about it. Like, at least with hockey and football, there's something more there. I feel like basketball is just run, squeak, throw, loop and repeat until you reach some 100-point number and it's all over. Okay. So Jacksonville Rays is Pucking Around. It's just series versus book. Okay, got it. Yeah, it's on my list. There's also 1,516 books on my want to read list on Goodreads. And that's not including series because I only put the immediate next book. This is valid. I am not Canadian. I am very American and very, very not sport, other than in my books with a romance. Need to read Pucking Around. Read the the short story that takes place before it and loved it. Yeah, I'm not a short story girl, but I am definitely getting more of an appreciation than I had previously. I don't think I could tell you anything about the sport. I pretended to like it for a while because a guy did, but I realized that was stupid and stopped. Did only play because big cousin. This is valid. We always do things because we want to be like someone. I'm slumping, like, physically. I need to do this too, but that's work, and I don't like work. I just need to start like using it more as opposed to just adding things to it and being like, okay, bye. Because the only shelf that I actively use in here is my next in series shelf, because I'll go through if I'm in the mood for a sequel and just see like what do I currently have access to, as opposed to reading or finding any of the 1,500 books on the want to read. But okay, does anyone have anything else they want to say? Because I'm having a great time and could talk for hours. But also, I have homework that's due in 10 hours that I've barely touched because I've been dissociating like nobody's business. But this was fun. And later this month, we will be talking about the score and the goal. So get those on your TBRs if they're not already. And I'm right now, as I look at my calendar, I'm thinking October 26th around the same time. So factor that in with your reading. Because I think the next 2 weekends and then the first weekend in November, I have plans. Who is she? We don't know her. But yeah, so I will make a announcement in the Discord, and most likely October 26th at 2 p.m. Because if we don't do it that day, we have to do it a weeknight, and we don't want Courtney to try to exist on a weeknight. And then we get into November, and then it's just getting dicey. So October 26th. I will see you guys then. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I really appreciate you exploring these books with me, and I hope you all continue to enjoy the rest of the series as much as we seem to enjoy the first two. Happy time zone, and have a great rest of your Sunday.